Hi everybody, this is LegendaryLass. I'm new to the whole video blog thing, but I thought I would take some time as I recently backed the Super Dungeon Maker Kickstarter, and we just got the Nintendo Switch version for it. Before we get started, I want to make sure that it's understood that this is a beta version, so things might be a little bit buggy or not quite polished as far as a finalized game yet. It is still, I don't know if you'd say it's in beta, but it's still in process, and we expect it to be updated. So what I'm going to start with, what you're probably seeing right now, is actually prior footage that I had recorded, showing my age, recorded earlier, that involves the startup of the game, and I thought that to start with, I'm going to play some of that, and then we will switch to the live version of the game. So here we go. Okay, we see the Fire Chick logo and Rokaplay. Again, still in development, so this is a preview. I kind of like this game a lot. I'm a big fan of old Legend of Zelda games, and I've been a big fan ever since the NES, way back then. So I was really excited to be able to see the ability to make your own dungeons. I enjoyed Super Mario Maker. I didn't take full advantage of making my own dungeons per se. Sorry, dungeons, Mario courses per se. But I did get to love to see everybody else's ones that they made and got to play through a bunch of them. So as we start here, I do like the animation of the chicken, especially the waddle on top as it bounces around. It's very, the whole thing is very, as advertised, very Link to the Past era, kind of 16-bit-ish, obviously with modern graphics, or the possibility of modern graphics on modern hardware, etc. Now, I do notice that there's a little bit of frame chunkiness here. It just seems like the animation cycle is not quite lining up with how fast the character's moving, so I wonder if that's one of the things that they're going to fix. Those enemies were annoying because you have to wait till they pop open in order to strike them. And of course, I've completely denuded this room of all grass and broken every pot because you gotta. So side room was kind of neat. I like the transition effects. It doesn't break as you move from room to room. That actually burns the player a little bit later, and I'll talk about that in a moment. I want everybody to pay attention here to the flame crackling, which seems to be from the torches, which is a nice touch, but I'll talk a little bit more about that later. Again, denuding all the grass. Now, I noticed that is a chasm of some sort. Doesn't seem like you can throw any of the bricks in blocks. You can't push them in quite yet. So it took me a few times to realize I did not notice right away. You notice how that block is highlighting white. It took me a minute to realize that it has to highlight white in order to be manipulatable, I should say. So pretty standard Zelda, Link to the Past era, push stuff and, find your way through the complicated pattern. Break all the pots, break all the pots. Hearts and grass, very Zelda. Switches. I mean, I don't think this game makes any secret of the fact that it's heavily inspired by Zelda. I mean, it really does seem to have come about because this is a matter of that Nintendo would not make a Zelda maker, so we get this, which I don't hate because, as long as we can make it, it's the kind of thing where you're actually appreciative that it's, kind of a clone. I hope there's more to it than just Zelda stuff. I'd like to see, some frame drops there. I'd like to see some cool new abilities and things like that, so we'll find out as we play more of the game. I'm not sure exactly what these guys are. They almost look like, I guess they're supposed to be kind of piranha plants, but with pitchforks or tridents or something. Walking around. Oh yeah, that took me a second. So that's your classic, you must leave the block on. So I got an ability here, which you'll notice is sort of, it's kind of a combination dash roll thing. It felt very much to me like the Rock's Feather from Link's Awakening. So that's, you know, therefore I knew that you could use that to cross at least one block wide gaps. Yep. And again, these guys are annoying. I couldn't quite put down, they almost seem like P-hats, the original P-hats, in the sense of you have to wait for them to give you the opening. I also notice here, I believe when Zelda would do pits that you could fall into to go down a level, you would actually see a background moving in a different parallax down there. Here, other than the arrow, there was no real way to tell that you could jump down there other than that, you know, big arrow. The waddle's also kind of a pompadour, I'm realizing. That's kind of neat. So the other item I got, you'll notice, is on R. I'm not entirely sure I used that. It also looks like maybe my recording software cut the top of the graphics, top of the screen off. I must have misadjusted something. I will make sure that's fixed when I switch over to the live play. So we see a two block wide pit here, except you actually could jump it. I don't know if that's intentional or not, but it did. I think I did feel, and I think you can see a little bit of drag back, almost like I was about to fall in the pit, like I was right on the edge. And you can't fool me. I know once you hit a switch, you have to hit it back. You can't fool me with that trick. So that one I believe I just tested. That wasn't a purposeful fall. Oh, sure, you'll all say. That wasn't a purposeful fall. So again, arrow here is the only indicator that you can survive jumping down there. And I believe I landed right on a, what are those little spiky things? I forget the Zelda name for them. And then I like that you get a giant egg at the end. It's a little Link's Awakening, but it's very on theme for chickens. And speaking of on theme for chickens, wait till you see this dialogue. Super secret dungeon, misspelled, cute touch. It bugged me that you can't chop down the bushes, but just the grass. Have you met the evil twin? You'll see here these guys actually do end up recycling a lot of what they're saying, and it seems to be kind of a random pool as far as what dialogue you get from them. I believe one of them, I couldn't tell what he said. I was just thinking about what I thought he said. There, that's the one where I couldn't tell. He said he wanted to be something. I thought he said he wanted to be a buster when he grew up. And so I kept running back and forth. Hen rule, you see, you know. Henlong, the dragon that can fulfill a wish. And I took a capture because I thought that was cute. I think I keep doing this till I see that what he actually says is he wants to be a builder too, not a buster. The layout of the village is very Kakariko village. You can't go in water. Learned that the hard way. I was hoping these guys would have something to say about that particular statue. It kind of looks like a gnome or something. And the angry bird, he never looks at explosions, very tokusatsu. I also like that because that's sort of a good indication of how much further you can go with, I'm going to say a fan-made inspired thing. You can charge your sword, of course. Again, it looks like the animation is holding a little longer than you would expect or missing frames. But, you know, you can put in things like, you know, Toku references or, you know, inside jokes and stuff like that. I thought that guy really looked like an angry bird on purpose. He may have just been a red rooster. So here we find ourselves in, there was another dungeon, so I decided to go in. I kind of regret it, though, because as you'll see, once I went in, I couldn't get out the door I came in. Because I think, see, I try to go back out thinking, oh, I'll do this later, but no go. So when this current video ends, that's where I'll be picking up, I believe. So we see a little kind of pseudo BMOS here. Got me thinking about if the Breath of the Wild Guardians, I guess they are directly kind of inherited from, not inherited, inspired by BMOS, even though, you know, they're way more deadly. It's the kind of thing, too, where, you kind of hope that they're putting some of their own, you know, special sauce into some of this stuff, but even at that, if they're just going to be inspired by Zelda and using Zelda things, you kind of hope that it ends up being more than just a Link to the Past. On the other hand, game development's very complicated and hard, and I can totally understand them at least starting with this. I'd also like to see a, you know, the palette swap kind of, you know, style change like Super Mario Maker has. So this one befuddled me for a while until I realized that that door is not an owl like in Link's Awakening that you can talk to, but it's actually looking for, as I guess, you have to kill every enemy. Not super intuitive. I'll have more to say about these flaming, you know, Podobo stacks or whatever they're called, the fireball, rotating fireballs, in a little bit here. So I also picked up a map here. I don't think I've used the map yet, but I know I do use it at some point here. Okay, so I am noting that there is another door up there. I'm trying to think about... I got a little bit lost and confused towards the end of this, so I'm just trying to think about where I can go when I come back and start it again. Obviously recognize right away that those are breakaway floors, floor tiles. This is the room where I'll have more to say about the fireballs in a second here. So get a key. Now watch what happens when you come back here. You can walk right into that fireball and it can hurt you. That's very different from Zelda in the sense that usually, there it happens again, usually, you're not built that close such that, other than when the spiky things kind of come in from the sides, as soon as you walk through the door, you're usually not able to be hurt while in doorways. So I found that a bit of a bummer. I mean, that's partially bad room design in the sense that the fireball stick can reach you there, but it's a thing from Zelda that it would be nice to see some implementation of not even doorway invincibility, but it just like you can't be targeted within doorways. So now I think about it, I think if in the Zelda games, if somebody throws something at you or shoots something at you, I think you do have invincibility in the doorway. I could be wrong. This room is just for breaking pots. I always appreciate it. You know, you always have to have your pot breaking room. That wall there that's blocking the one fireball could stand to be a little bit larger looking, a little bit taller looking rather, because even as you notice, you can't get over, the fireball stick can go over it, but the fireball shooting from the guy, the little mouth there that shoots the fireballs can't. So a little visually confusing there. Which I think could probably be helped with just some sprite adjustments to make it look like it's a taller wall. I think they tried actually to put some sort of 3D perspective, kind of perspective on the dimensions, like kind of those diagonal pieces at the diagonal lines at the end, but it just makes it, I think that's working against it in that sense. I like the ambiance. I like, notice how, the fireballs also provide light. I like that. And then, kind of that glowing diffusion around the light sources. That's a nice touch. Again, there, you couldn't get through, and I don't have, my roll ability anymore. So, I don't know. I guess it doesn't... I'm not trying to backseat this too much, though, obviously, if you listen to everything I've said so far, I'm sure it doesn't, I'm sure it sounds like that's what I'm doing, but it feels like those things, if the point of those things is to be dodged, you should be able to dodge them in such a way you can't take damage. I noticed that those look like cracked, taller blocks, so it looks like, a bomb is what comes to mind there. didn't check to see if that, you know, smaller block could actually deny. Yeah, so notice that kill all enemies door is still solid. There might be a way to do that, but I don't think I found it yet. I think I have to find a switch here as the next. We are a little bit further away from where I ended this particular run, so. The map also scrolls like crazy. Like, you tap that button and it shoots way up, so I think that's probably one of the things they're going to refine is the scroll speed on that. Again, bushes that sure look like you can cut them down. They're bushes, but nope, can't cut them down. Same kind of thing with those, just testing to make sure those are actual fall-throughs and they don't go somewhere. Same thing with those vines on the wall. I kind of recognize that they're just vines. They're decorative, but there's at least one time in Zelda where you do cut through vines in A Link to the Past, or curtains too, but I think vines as well. So yeah, so this is kind of where we get to the end of the pre-recorded portion that I made. Obviously, as you can see, I'm kind of just going back and forth here. I wonder if I need to take a pot and try to throw it at the that one guy that's over there in order to get the all enemies dead open. So I'm going to stop this here, and we will pick up with actual live play with me doing commentary over it. Okay, and we're back. So actually it ended up I had to start a new game, but I pretty much got myself back to where we were before I left off. So we'll continue with the pre-made campaign portion of this, and hopefully maybe even get into some actual dungeon designs in a little bit here. So first thing I noticed that this did help me out as I was like, oh man, I restarted it. Now I have to go through all this again. With that initial dungeon, there's actually an exit dungeon. So I could use that right now if I wanted to, but we got started with this one, so we may as well finish it. So as this is a new game, an alternate playthrough, you may notice that I do things I did before. I tried to make it as close as possible, but I'm sure I didn't get everything. So part of the reason I wanted to do Dungeon Maker was, see again, you should be able to dodge that, was to, because of the obvious Zelda linkages and, no pun intended, and as we get closer here, we are coming up on, you guessed it, the Tears of the Kingdom release, which I do plan to do as a recorded playthrough. I plan to keep these episodes about an hour or so in length, maybe a little bit longer, just sort of roughly an hour, depending on starting place. Sorry, so here's what's happening there. As I'm holding up here, it's going through, and then as soon as it gets to the end of the stairwell, it resets the up, and I go up again, which means I go back down the stairwell. So you see I'm going up and down here. That's actually an interesting noise now that I think about it. Look. You don't hear that. If I go up, you hear what sounds like a door slamming. So, something to note there. It must be something else on this floor of the dungeon. You do notice the golden egg is somewhere on this floor. The egg force? I don't know. Well, anyway, as I was saying, this is sort of done as part of a lead-in to Tears of the Kingdom. And I will be doing roughly about an hour or so, depending on where we can get to good stopping points with these plays. So we'll consider this a long play series. I don't know how long I will go on Super Dungeon Maker exactly, but I do want to sort of get a general feel for everything this game can do. Oh, you know what? I killed that last enemy. I do want to go back into there. I killed that last enemy, which means that gray door should have opened. So as I was saying, we'll see how long this goes. I want to get a good sense of it. But I actually, what I would like to do is, it's been forever since I played the original NES Legend of Zelda: The Hyrule Fantasy. I think I would like to go back and see what I can remember of that game. So what do we get here? Okay, so we get R. Oh, it's his shield. I guess it's on his back? I'm not sure where he's pulling that out from. No, he looks like he's pulling it. Is it in his hair? Oh, that's so adorable if it's in his waddle pompadour thing. Okay. Okay, I think I got this in that other dungeon too, and I was watching that playback thinking, gee, what is that? Okay, so I think this is sort of, yep. I kind of wish it would lock my facing. Nope. Tried L, so I'm using the right bumper to do that. And you die now. Okay. With my 4 out of 5 hearts, not bad. Whoops. Whoa. Ah! Rude. Okay, it can deflect fireballs. So, yeah, I would like to do a Zelda 1 playthrough semi-blind. Just, I figured you were going to do that. I don't know why I didn't shield it. So that was where I got stuck before. It must have been that. See, this is where keeping a consistent facing would be nice. Oh, I wasn't sure that would work. I don't know what that aura effect around him is. So semi-blind Zelda 1. I am all over the place tonight, everybody. I apologize. And yeah, semi-blind Zelda 1 playthrough, and oh, there we go. There's our bombs. So we'll see if I can get that going next. Semi-blind in the sense of I've played it a zillion times. I don't think I've played it in 5 years at the very least. So it's sort of a let's see how much from memory I can remember. And if that works out, maybe we still have some time before Tears. Maybe I will do Zelda 2, which is way harder. Maybe Link to the Past. So, anyway, Super Dungeon Maker. So I've got bombs now, so it looks like it can get through. I know there were at least 2 rooms where there were, bombs looking relevant. I did check. I can't throw anything over those blue post pop-ups. Or at least I couldn't throw a pot. Let's see if I can throw a bomb. No. Okay. So we'll have to find the other room that had those bombs. Oh, so no, this has some bomb pieces. It looks like I have infinite bombs, which is awesome. Which is very Breath of the Wild. Was it here? See, look, I can kind of hover in between rooms. It's sort of a... Yeah, here we go. So we can bomb here. Nothing can destroy these bushes. They're freaking adamantium bushes or something. Okay, so we've got a key. Ah, okay. We had a bit of a stop down because I bumped the mic, and as this is, of course, a brand new mic, I messed with... I was adjusting it on this mic arm, and I accidentally pulled... Could have shielded that too. Oh well. I accidentally pulled on the micro USB cord, which caused the head to get a little flaky. So brand new, awesome. I'm gonna have to buy a replacement cord, which will not be the end of the world, but it's annoying. So we're back running here. Oh boy. So I don't really have a Pegasus Boots equivalent. Of course it's these things. Oh, now look at that. That looks like, I was going to say, that looks like a hook shot. And look, it stuns just like a hook shot. Awesome. Okay, cool. So let's see here. Oh, good. I needed some hearts. You kind of don't trust this. I guess we're okay. There's our switch, finally. Now, I would bet... Yep. I love it. That's pretty fun. That action's pretty great. I like the quick whiz bang. Interesting. So now if I do that, I can throw a bomb over there. And once I blow him up... Oh, God. Will you die already? Okay, you notice the door in the upper left opens, so that's cool. So we'll wait till this spiky, bikey, whatever it's called, goes by. All right, here we go. Oh, spiders. Oh. I don't like how long these non-Tektite Tektites take to kill. Okay, great. All right, let's see here. Hearts, hearts. Give me hearts, hearts. I think I just accidentally quoted the AutoZone commercial. I keep slightly bumping my mic, so I'm making sure I am not accidentally... What is that? You notice it doesn't sound like there's any audio, other than there's a slight whip for the pullback. Let's see here. Did I get some? Oh, I got a key out of there. Oh my gosh. Ah! Spamming buttons to make sure I hit the right one, which is R1. Okay. Ah! Okay, now we play the age-old game of where's a locked door I haven't gone through yet. Oh, looks like everything's on basement 1. Oh, okay, okay. So I can go up here and cross this cavern with my... Oh, I can't... Oh, I bet I have to do this. That's very, very narrow wiggle room there. I'm kind of enjoying this. Musical cues indicating something. Boy, it looks like I'm gonna let a ton of stuff out there if I don't. I'm gonna try to not swear, but I probably will. Whoa, did I push? What's to stop me from just... Okay, I can only drop one bomb at a time. I notice those bombs are kind of egg-shaped. Am I laying bombs like an egg? Because that's kind of a cool thematic match, if that's the case. I also noticed they only do a fraction. That was me hitting the wrong button again. Oh, I see. It's probably beeping because the golden egg is over there. Okay, okay. I guess those hearts don't blink out. So, oh, I can't grab them either. And I can't grab pots. All right. So noted. Oh, okay, I see. So the middle door. So this is a combat room, essentially. We gotta take these busters out. Now they've already used busters once tonight. Okay. So I'm not even sure if this is a story mode or just sort of an example sandbox. So now the door's open because we have gotten everything, so we are clear to get the egg. So if this holds like the last one, when I exit my dungeon, I'm going to lose all my items. But I don't hate that. I mean, if this is supposed to be sort of boutique one-off dungeons, then sort of, you know, loosely connected from an overworld. That's interesting. I came out there instead of where I went in. Instead of, you know, sort of tied together with a loosely... I wish I had a flute. Like the little lost boy. I did learn recently, I was reading the Zelda encyclopedia. I thought I found a hidden path. I guess not. I was reading the Zelda encyclopedia, and it mentions that the boy... You can see that the flute in A Link to the Past is clearly an ocarina, but it was translated as flute for England. Oh, interesting. Store egg room. I can't get through there? Then why doesn't the... Okay. Let's see here. Oh, Dungeon Expedia. Okay, I guess I probably should have gone into these rooms before I went anywhere else. So maybe I can store my eggs and such here. Oh, okay. So this is sort of our downloaded. This is sort of our world. So once I don't know where you go to download them, but once you do, they're apparently right there. Okay. Cut the grass, cut the grass. All right. So Dungeon Expedia, Hen and Fam. That looks like maybe where you online dungeons, and this looks like where you go to build it. Dungeon building. Well, let's look at this first, just because it's a little bit simpler. These are all 0, which I wonder if this means that this functionality is not online yet. Dungeon search. Oh, okay, so it's very Mario Maker. You do kind of wish that people would have ways of identifying automatically, you know, sort of programmatically identifying those tags, rather than just trusting the people to put it in, because you can always lie, you know, or be mistaken about it. So that's okay. So let's, before we go in, I'm sure people came here just to look at the dungeon making, and I am doing everything I can to not go in there. I just want to see what else is in this little world. Oh, I had a little bit of a glitch there, it looked like. Okay, so another sample dungeon up here. That's fine. The fact that they had a pillory for fun is odd. Egg slimes don't like to be poked. Then they Oh, okay. So egg slimes are those sort of white guys that sort of pop up and down. They look like a Chrono Trigger monster. And you're the mayor of Special Hat City. Okay. Yeah, we knew that. What do you have to say? So these people that say everything seem to have certain ones, and then it looks like the little kids have just random sayings every time. Okay, so let's try our hand at... The evil twin thing is creeping me out. Oh, look, there's a treasure chest there. I like treasure chests, and so do you. If you say otherwise, you're a liar. Oh, okay. So I did notice one of the dungeons here has a gap across the front of it, and I was wondering how you would get that if you always lose your... Yeah, they're hard to notice. Oh, you can't go in that door. Okay. If you always lose your items when you come out of a dungeon. So, that's pretty cool. No, you look like you're gonna teach me something. It doesn't seem to. I can't get past that door. I would bet you money this guy's door also doesn't open. Yes. What if I dash into it? No. Okay. So this is sort of, okay, so clearly this is a hub world, which I kind of assume, but, you know, you never know until you look around. Let's go into dungeon building. Maybe we can make a very simple dungeon while we're here. Okay. Okay, so you sort of paint that. Oh, I see why those lines were left. If you notice, that's how you get the super short lines. Okay. And then, let's see. Okay, so if I draw, and then if I draw over, okay. Boy. Okay, so let's figure out tools here. Okay, it looks like that. So my D-pad is moving on that left-hand side. My ZL is switching between floor or room, I guess, and that. And those. So what's this, a hidden bomb door? Oh, look how deep that has to be. That's cool. Okay, cool. I don't think that worked the way I wanted it to. You can also mouse over, and I assume, okay. Oh, I see. Look, it put a crack in the wall, so it did a vertical one. So if I press... Interesting. If I press Y... Oh, no, that just places him, it looks like. Henny Youngman or whatever. I really should have probably looked up his name. Okay, so you can put doors. That's kind of cool. Okay, right stick is moving me around at a much better pace than the maps. That's good. Oh, I guess so I can pick that up and put that anywhere, and it makes its own room. So if I wanted to, I could put that in there. And then if I ZL... Floor... Fink is the name of the guy. That's cool. But if I want to paint wall... How do I replace the wall that I accidentally... I wonder if there's an eraser? These are all monsters. I haven't seen that guy yet. There's the Beamos thing. I think that's a fireball. Oh, no, that's the fireball. This must be the rotating fire stick. The clinker, the special one, spike traps. Oh, look at that. It looks like maybe a Moldora. Molgoro? I forget. The snake thingy that you have to hit the tail. These look like bosses. Oh, wow, that's cool. Okay, so we have... Oh, these are the items and treasures you can put in. There are flippers so you can swim. Looks like we got every major one in those 2 sample dungeons except for the flippers. Put trees in the dungeon, which I think is kind of a nice touch personally. Oh, it also looks like you can put like outdoor stuff. Wood, stone rock, not like one of those plastic rocks. Oh, I see. If I press over it, it shows me everything. You know, there's no real tooltips or anything like that. That would be kind of helpful. I'm still not sure how to erase what I've already put down. What? Nope, that's just ground. Tap save. I can obviously save it. Looks like you can make up to 7 floors, 3... It's weird that you can set that there, but not... I can see B1 through 3 and floor 1 through 4. Not sure. Is it X? Look at this, X. A picks up, B trashes. That's not doing me any good. Ah, there we go. So I thought it might be neat to just make a simple dungeon here. Oh, interesting. Okay, so that's on the grid. Okay, that makes some sense. And then we'll have to give him bombs to... We'll have to give him bombs, which... Oh, it must be under treasures. Yes. Okay. It's got a bunch of crazy crap there. Looks like minus is how we play it. Oh, cool. You pop right into it. That's good. Okay, so we pick up the bombs, and we place a bomb, and the bomb goes through. And we get the egg. Switch back to build mode. So let's look at stairs now. How do we... Oh, and you can put a big key chest. Okay, that's a decent number of options here to start with. Upstairs. Oops. Well, yeah, but I also would like to put it here. Now, how do we switch floors other than tapping on it? Oh, and it generates a room. It looks like that's a bare minimum room. Or, room size. Okay. It'd be nice to, like, click and drag a whole space and let it autofill rather than running over everything. But I do appreciate the amount of control this gives. so you can put, that's how you put those walls. Oh, interesting. I wonder what the clouds do. Oh, I guess it's just sort of fog of war. Okay. Well, this has been a pretty interesting look at Super Dungeon Maker. It's not... I was kind of hoping it would have stuff... oh, look, that erases the clouds when you do that. I was kind of hoping it would have stuff online for us to download and play. We could do some side dungeons, but I think that's a pretty good look for right now. So... if you've made it this far, thank you for watching my first video. I hope to be doing more, but so far just getting started slowly and surely. Thanks for watching.